Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. Welcome to our STEM Thread Cliff Undergraduate Research. We have a special guest today, Bridget Johnson. Bridget Johnson is the Assistant Vice President for Inclusive Excellence and also helps coordinate the United in STEM initiative on campus, which Bridget will be talking about here in a little bit. So I don't want to speak too soon on behalf of United in STEM, but thank you all for being here. I am going to go ahead and pass it on to Bridget to introduce herself.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I know you all are very busy individuals. So I recognize that it is definitely my privilege to be in front of you today because you're just busy folks. And so again, thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I like to share about two programs with you if necessary. You might know about one or two of them. I know Miguel knows about one of them because Miguel was part of our training lab last spring. So he can also share some stuff if he feels comfortable. But like Deanna said, my name is Bridget Johnson. A lot of students call me Miss B. In the second term of endearment for me. So I welcome you to call me Miss B as well. I have worked here at Colorado State for 11 years. I've been in higher ed for a long time. My gray hair shows how long I've been here, but I've been in higher ed for 28 years. I come from the University of Wisconsin system. So my experience is not based off of just my knowledge, but working with some fantabulous people, colleagues and students that have allowed us to develop a lot of new innovative programs for students. So before I go any further, I guess I would like to know who you all are. I want to know whatever you feel free to share. Of course, your name. I see your names, but I probably don't know how to pronounce them properly. So would love help with that. And then any salient identities you have as far as, race, ethnicity, pronouns, anything that's really salient to you, please share that with me. And then also your major. And then I want to know, what are you familiar with? Are you familiar with United in STEM and or murals? If neither one is totally fine. Both is great. One or the other is fine as well. But I'm going to start off with my introduction just to get us going. But I'm Bridget Johnson, Miss B. I identify as a Black female in that order. My race and ethnicity is really important to me as a Black individual. I don't identify just as a woman. I identify as a Black woman. And that is really important to me. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I identify as a cisgender. I also identify as a first-generation college student. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. And I know about murals and I know about United in STEM. My degree in undergrad was communication and political science. And then my graduate degree is in student personnel administration. So that is a little bit about me. So I don't care who goes first or goes next. Yeah, so I could, and plus I don't know how to pronounce your name, says Miguel, and I don't want to keep calling his name. So I need to hear your names in the space so I can say it correctly or try to, and then you can correct me. So yeah, yes, somebody volunteer.
Hello, my name is Anaí Ruiz, and I am currently a third year here at CSU, and my major is sociology with a concentration in criminal justice with a minor in legal studies. And I identify as she, her, hers. I'm also a first generation student and cisgender, yeah. And I do not know anything about the two programs, so this is new to me.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for going first also. Can you say your name one more time so I can hear it again?
Anaí.
Anaí, okay, thank you. Great, awesome.
Thank you.
I guess I can go next as well too. Hello, my name is Mutesi. I am a third year majoring in graphic design with a minor in entrepreneurship and innovation. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I guess I can classify myself as um, around this American, I guess, by race wise. I'm from the continent of Africa in a country called Rwanda, so like I'm very huge when it comes to my ethnicity. Um, I actually have heard about the murals like in 2019, but that's like back then. So like I don't know the new information about it. So yeah.
Trying to go off of mute so it's not echo. Then I start talking. But I heard you use as Umatisi. Umatisi.
Umutesi.
Uma.
Umutesi. No, umu. Yeah.
Umo. Okay. And then what did you say your major was? I'm sorry.
My major is in graphic design, concentration. I have a minor in entrepreneurship and innovation with the College of Business. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
And then Miguel.
Hi, yeah, so I'm Miguel. I'm a second year majoring in civil engineering. I identify myself as a first generation student. And I've heard of both Murals and United STEM since last year. I participated in one of the internships and Murals as well. So I have an idea of what they are.
Cool. Thank you, Miguel. So Miguel can share some of his experience if you feel comfortable and able to do that. And so yeah, Miguel's a first year student getting involved. He's rolling up his sleeves and I'm gonna get a taste of some stuff. And so he was part of United STEM as well as Murals. I'm gonna start off with Murals because it's the oldest. Yeah, it's the oldest. So what I am going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I said I'm going to start off with something and I'm not on it. Let me just get on it. Okay, there we go. Let's close this out. There we go. So Murals. Murals is the way that a student described it to me is an opportunity to make your education come to life. That was the best way that a student described it to me actually in 2018. She was like, oh my goodness, my education has finally come to life. And she was actually a third year student. She had been doing all this homework and studying and she was just like, oh yeah. And then when she was able to participate in Murals, it was an opportunity for her education coming to life. So Murals actually is an undergraduate research symposium. And when you hear the word research, more than likely a lot of students think of STEM. Now we know Miguel is in STEM and then the two of you are in social sciences or humanities. And so it's kind of like hard to think about research for a lot of liberal arts, social sciences or humanities students. This is something that you don't hear a lot about. And so I'm here to tell you that any type of research is research. So what we say is you're submitting scholarly work. So if there's something that is really you're passionate about, and then you want to present on it. And that is research. And we can match you up with a faculty guide if you're interested in doing that. But what I'm going to do is I am going to do something. Maybe. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can get to the right thing. There we go. Okay, I don't really care that you're gonna see more than I need you to see this. Okay, I don't really care. So we can get this party started. Okay, So murals is basically, oh, I did the wrong one. I hope I didn't do it. Oh, they put both of them in there. Okay. Here we go. Can you see my screen now? This is Murals overview. Cool. Okay. So basically, Murals is an opportunity for students of color, and it's targeted for students of color because we know that students of color are not participating in undergraduate research at the same rate as white students. And so our goal is to get more students like yourselves to be involved in undergraduate research. And like I said, that undergraduate research could be in STEM, it can be humanities, it could be in arts, it could be anything. Just think of it as scholarly work that you're presenting on. And so we want you to definitely shine, but we also, this is an opportunity for you to network with other scholars. And a lot of times we see our peers as friends or hanging out with them or in the cultural centers, in the academic center, academic advancement center, but we don't see each other as scholars. We don't see each other as researchers. We see each other as peers, as my friend, as a person I go to class with. But this is an opportunity for you all to see each other as scholars and network with each other as scholars. The other thing is a place for you to develop professionally. And then of course, to celebrate your work and celebrate your peers' work. And so these are the objectives of Murals, and I won't go into details with them, but just know that is our job to collaborate with you all, to help you communicate confidently in a constructive way. It's also if you're in the science, in the STEM field, to synthesize and extrapolate data. And then it's also for you to articulate anything that pertains to your skill, pertains to your field. And then lastly, definitely to be able to talk to and interact with faculty members about your passion, and then to be a leader. And so what you have here is you as a student, you can present your passion, your project, passion project, which is your hobby, your interest. You can present something on a previous research. So meaning very specifically, you can present something on a school project or assignment that you've already done. You can also present something on ideas that you're working on, a proposal that you're working on with a faculty member. If you've done any type of service learning or study abroad or community service, you can present on that. So this is wide view of things you can present on. This top picture, Jakia Fields, was an artist, but she studied ethnic studies, but she was very talented in the area of art. And then at the bottom, you have Marcella Reddick, who is a science STEM student, and she presented on her research that she was working on when she was an undergraduate. So that was really exciting just to see two vast difference. I'm going to go all the way down here. There are 4 different categories that you can submit in. The first category is creative arts. So kind of like what Jakia did, she presented on creative arts. And that was basically a great project for her, that she was able to take her art with her academic discipline and merge the two together. And so those can be poetry, it can be written art, it can be creative art, it can be marketing, it can be media pieces. You can actually bring stuff in and present on it. It's very broad. You also can do STEM. If you're a STEM major, you can do something, I don't know what Miguel presented on STEM or not, but you can do something on scientific research, statistical projects, accounting, anything of that nature. You can also do something on service learning and leadership. If you are interested in being part of a study abroad event and you went and you can present what you did, how you felt, what you experienced. You also can do it if you did an alternative break or you're part of a student organization and you want to present about the student organization you're part of and some of the activities you did. Social sciences and humanities, usually a paper, a lit review, meaning that you've read a bunch of different literature articles and you presented on what you learned. You can do some cultural research if it's on your race or ethnicity or gender or LGBT community, any type of salient identity. So anything to do with economics, political, or history. So it's very broad in the area, or sociology, or criminal justice, and anything of that nature as well too. And then we have innovation and entrepreneurship. This is a new category. If you're interested in starting your own business, you can actually launch your business, and you can, no matter what your major is, you can present on that. We're going to be working with the entrepreneurship lab in January. You can go through a 2-week vector system and present on that. And so this is a way that you can pitch your business idea to potential investors. So those are our 5 categories that we have that you can present on. You actually also can do a enhancer element. So any of those topics, you can do a social justice piece to it. And that social justice piece is something that will enhance your work. That's something about equitable conditions or structures, talk about marginalized people, systems of oppression, your lived experience, somebody else's lived experience, a social identity that has been marginalized through this community. So that is something that you can enhance your work on. So that meaning somebody can do something on social work, right? We can talk about social work. But then when you start talking about marginalized people in social work, that is what makes it a social justice and inclusion enhancer. So there's money to be won. Everybody that participates will get $25, just a RAM cash card. In addition to that, you have a chance to be an overall winner. The overall winner means the winner of all the categories. That person will receive $1,000. And then then there's first place for each of those categories. So there is first place for creative arts, STEM, social sciences, service learning and leadership, and innovation entrepreneurship. So that first place prize is $750. Second place prize for each of those areas is $500. And then rising star will get $250. And then the social justice enhancer, you can win an additional $250. So let's say, for instance, I know Richard just joined us, but this because we haven't put his name in this space. So let's say, for instance, if Richard won the overall winnings, Richard will win $1,000. And then Richard may also, we might say that he had the best social justice enhancer also. So that means that you will walk away that day knowing that you're going to get $1,250 in your hand. In addition to that, you'll have your $25 that you got just because you participated. So that is how the categories go for second and third, or first, second, and rising star, as well as overall winner. What do you need to do all this? The first thing you need to do is you need to submit an abstract. I can show you where you do that at, but you submit your abstract and it's 250 words or less. You probably say, well, I don't even know what I want to do my project on. Don't worry, we have graduate students that will assist you. All you got to do is fill out a form saying, I plan on participating. It's intent to submit form. And you say, I want to do this, but I don't know nothing. Or I want to do this. I know I want to do a topic on this, but I need somebody to help me make it happen. So no matter where you are in the stage, just say, I'm interested, and then we'll be in touch with you. And then what we'll do is eventually help you decide on what your project will be. And then what we'll do after that is we will help you design, get your abstract together. And then what we'll do is start working on a poster. This huge poster, 3 feet by 4 feet. You will produce that, and that is exciting. When we saw students actually printing their posters in the library, it comes out like, poster size, like huge. And students were just like, oh my gosh, to be able to see my work that large in print is just overwhelmingly great. And to say this is my work, and then display that on the day of murals is a fantastic feeling. And then people are asking you more about your research, like, what are you doing your work on? And you can share, this is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm badass, and so you should come and check me out. And so this is an exciting time. Then you do an oral presentation. The oral presentation is 3 to 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, and is basically you talking about what's on your poster, and that is uploaded onto the site. But that's the way that you get involved in murals. How the timeline for this is like right now, April through October is over with, so we can just ignore that piece. But October through early March, you complete your intent to submit form. Then you will go to some workshops to learn more about murals like you are here now. You can nominate yourselves, you can nominate other students. And then you need to just basically submit your abstract, and we'll go from there and prepare your poster and your abstract. So the deadline ultimately for your abstract is March 4th. But what we're trying to do is get everything in sooner. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and talk a little bit. Actually, I'm going to show you something else. Past murals. Okay, so share your screen. So this page is our murals. This murals.colo state. This is our home page here, what we were on. But what I want you to do is see past murals, and we can look at like, what does past murals look like? And so this is a galleries by year. And so you can go on here and check out some of our past year murals. 2021 was 2019. You were saying that you remember it. Is it, oh, I'm gonna say your name, Umotesi.
Yeah.
Okay, Umo. You know, 2019 was the last year that we had it live and in person. And so that's the last time that you heard about it. 2021, we were virtual. So those are all iPosters, but you can go on here and you can check out some of what it looks like. This is what the poster gallery looks like. So when I was talking about the large posters, this is what it looks like. And you have faculty and staff kind of walking through to check out what your work. This is Christian Cumber. He's a student athlete. He was a student athlete. He played football, and he was one of the winners. These are all the winners. Some students present in groups. So that's something that's really exciting. You don't have to do this alone. You can partner with someone. And so these are some or most of the winners. This is Marcella again, talking about animal conservation. This is two people presenting here. That's Jayla and so I think Solomon. Can't think of her name right now. I think it's Solomon. Presented here, and you can see Dr. Hughes, who's our Vice President of Student Affairs, is sitting there watching the students. And this is a staff person here, Alex Summer, to support students. This is Jakia. I shared with you earlier about her work. And this is some of our professional development. Cara Olsen from APAC, and then Emerald Green, who used to be here. She now is a director in San Jose State University. She's talking to a group of students. This is a graduate student. We actually do professional development. So this is our graduate student panel showcase. And so students kind of intermingle with graduate students to learn more about graduate school. And this is what the ballroom looks like. We have dinner, we have lunch for you, and we have dinner for you. And this is some students that presented together as a group. And this is all the people that were still kind of hanging out, and we took a large group picture. So this is what murals look like. So you can definitely get involved in murals that way. If you're interested in the abstract book, these are our abstract book. We didn't do one we did one for 2021, but it was different. But our abstract books look like this. We started off with registration and setup. We go into workshops, and then we do presentations, and then we do poster galleries. I want to show you specifically. This is what your abstracts will be published in this book. And so these are two abstracts I just pulled up. This is Where I Am From, Embracing My Roots by Carolina, that presented here. And then by Adela, Did Humans Discriminate, Mental Health Does Not. And so these are, so your abstracts will be published in this book. So it's all over the place. Any kind of submission is acceptable. I see that we have, conversation, that's good. So yeah, so that is the murals opportunity. Are there any questions about murals?
So does it directly, like if we were to make the poster, does it directly have to be related to our like sort of major or the research area that we want to do? Or
Thank you for your question, Richard. Do you go by Richard?
yes.
Okay. So yes, to answer your question, no, it doesn't. You can make, what's your major, Richard?
Biomedical engineering.
Okay. So you can definitely do something and whatever the heck that means. I don't know nothing about science. I just
Yeah.
kind of work with it a little bit, but you can do something in that field. Or you can say, you know, I am so tired of doing stuff in biomedical. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a poem and I'm going to present my poem. That is totally acceptable. It will be marked down that you were part of XYZ college, but you presented in this particular area. So anything you want to do. I tell students all the time that it is kind of cool to your first time around to do something in your passion and then get comfortable with it. And then the next year, do something in your major. That sometimes students do that a lot.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
What year are you in school?
Sophomore.
You're sophomore? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Any other questions?
Richard, I think you brought up like a really good point, and Bridget, I also want to like jump in and mention like talking about like passions is like a good way to frame it if it feels like a little intimidating, thinking about like what can I do with my field. Do folks have any like passions or things that came to mind as folks were kind of hearing about the different presentations that have been done in the past that Bridget was sharing? Did any like personal passions come up for folks?
Yeah, I did, for me, honestly. I have a few of things that I honestly want to do.
Nate, just tell us like one or two of them. I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
tell us.
Well, I'm a huge like advocate for refugees.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a huge topic, but I can always like narrow it down to like specifically in the continent of Africa. But I also am huge regarding like representing like my country to others, because there's this thing that people know about like my country that's like, it's more about like people know one bad thing that happened in a specific country that they actually neglect to learn about like what's happening in the country right now, kind of thing. And so that like I have like a quite few topics that I think would be good to talk about.
Yeah, because you're educating your communities and then you're reinforcing what you know.
Yep.
Yeah, so thank you. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Any other questions? So I'm going to show you all what you do if you want to be involved. I am not the most tech savvy person. And there is. But I've gotten so much better, I tell you. So there we go. So what you need to do is, this is a Murals homepage. So you go into murals.colostate.edu. I'll drop the link in the chat. Maybe if I can do that here. Oh, that's already done. Thank you. That's exactly what we're doing. So it's in the chat already from Deanna. And so, but this is a web page that would take you to, that link would take you to this page. And you're going to go over here to submit, and you want to do intent to submit. And so this is where you put in your name, phone number, or email address. And then you're going to say, what support do you need? You're going to say, I need a faculty person. I need a research topic. I need poster assistance. Like, you need all of it. Like, I just need all of it. Or I just need one thing, or I need none of it. It doesn't matter. But then what we're going to do is, please share topics you are thinking about presenting on, or simply say you do not know. You know, you can put down 5 different things that you're interested in to put it on. It's okay. At this point, it doesn't matter. And then, you know, we want to know a little bit more about you. What's your major, what's your minor, and then your CSU ID number, and then submit it. That's all you have to do. Within a few days, if I'm not too busy, I will respond to you. And I would say, hey, Mari, or Maris, how do you pronounce the name? I am sorry. I just didn't see I thought it was apostrophe there. But how do you pronounce your name? Is it Maris? Are you there? Or am I saying it so bad that you don't know who I'm talking to?
I don't know if Mari can hear us.
Mari.
I believe Maria goes by Mari.
Mari, okay. Okay, so let's just say Mari is like, I don't know what I want to do it in. I just know I'm going to do something. I'm going to send an email and say, hello, it's me, Miss B. Congratulations for saying that you want to do something extraordinary. Let me assign you a graduate student. And so I'm going to give you a graduate student. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to give you India. And India is going to be your graduate student. And you can reach out to her, come to her office hours, which are virtual. So she can help you walk through the 5 things you listed and kind of help you talk through those. Or you might say, forget that, I can't wait for my graduate student. I'm just gonna call her myself. Or you can meet with me, it doesn't make a difference. But you would just basically just say, I'm interested, and simple as that. And we'll go from there. So you don't need to have your abstract done or have a well thought out idea. Just come with interest. And you might come and say, I have no topic. So then what I'll start doing is I might start saying, okay, what is your passion? What do you do in your spare time? What do you wish you had more time to do? And so I'll start asking you questions like that. And so you'll have all the way from now until until February to get your abstract together and your presentations. And yes, you're right, that you will be presenting this on March 25th, which is not until spring semester of 2022. So again, that date is March 25th, 2022, which is on a Friday. You'll be excused from classes on that day because this is a university sanctioned event. So that is a little bit about murals.
Thank you so much, Bridget, for sharing about murals. I feel like there's a lot that I learned also. Do folks have any questions for Bridget in regards to anything that she shared? Talked about like the timeline, what to expect, the support that's there for students, how to just bring in your passions and education into this experience. Yeah, do folks have any questions? Is it, I know, Bridget, you mentioned that like Miguel had participated in the first year. Can you talk a little bit about, I don't know if you all track typically like the average year that student participants are in, if students usually do it more than once?
The percentage of students who's doing it more than once is growing. So about 40% of our students do it more than once. And the reason why they do it more than once, the reason why that's growing is because we're starting students to do it as early as their first year. So Miguel did it his first year. So then of course there's more time to perfect what he already presented. We had one student last, Maya Siegel, who actually was our service learning and leadership winner in 2021. She did it her first year and then she kept working on her project and now she won first place. So and it was kind of cool because she shares that her first year, this faculty member gave her some feedback. And then her senior year, the faculty member was like, oh my goodness, you incorporated all the feedback I gave you. This is great. And she was just shocked that faculty member came back to keep track of her. This faculty member, she was not in her field of study. She did not know this faculty member before this. So just seeing somebody that was really, really interested in her work. And she talked a lot about survivors. And so that faculty member just had a personal interest in that field. And so Maya started her own not-for-profit through Murals. And so we're very proud of her. And now it's across the country. So she's going to speak to different groups and starting different groups at different institutions. So she's really excited. And then she presented through the Diversity Symposium and she got 2 people from the community to invest in her. So it was wonderful. We have the majority of our students that present as their 3rd year. And that's the year that most of our students present. And then they're thinking, oh, I'm not going to do it again. I'm a senior. I'm so busy, or I'm going to do it, but then time doesn't present itself. So it'd be great if people can present their 2nd year. So they have time, 1st or 2nd year, so they have time to repeat. However, we have a significant number, about 25% of our students are seniors that are presenting for the first time. And that's totally fine too. So whenever you're ready, we're ready for you. So it doesn't matter. But we do know that students who participate in murals persist and invested in their education differently than students who do not present. So that's exciting for murals. So yeah, Miguel, do you mind if I ask you to share what you presented on for murals?
No, yeah, last year I presented something based on like COVID wise and like how it was like globally affected everyone, and I also added like a personal part of like my story for that. So yeah, it really didn't relate to my major at all. So I was able to like just find a topic and then research it and then present it. And yeah, following through what you said, personally, I think I would do it again, but probably like my junior or senior year, just because it really like helped me prepare myself to do something in the research base. So yeah, I really enjoyed that part of that. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Miguel, for sharing. I know I put you on the spot. If I would have known you were going to be on this call, I would have called you and let you know that I was going to ask you a question, but you did very well. So thank you for doing that. Yeah. So that's about murals. I don't know if you have time for me to share a little bit about United in STEM. If you want me to do that, so Tiana, or
Yeah, I think that'd be great if you can.
yeah, I can do that really quickly. So another program that is underneath the Office of Inclusive Excellence now is called United in STEM for students who are either majoring in or interested in the STEM discipline. And one thing I need for us to realize is that everything feeds into everything. STEM cannot be STEM without social sciences. And so that's something that's really, really important. And so there's always a social science component to STEM stuff. And so people say, oh, like me, this is a program that I started 2 years ago. And when I tell you I know nothing about STEM, I'm telling you I know nothing about STEM. And so it is still something that I can still produce, right? And so I don't need you to be a STEM student or a STEM professional to understand the implications of science, technology, engineering, and math and medicine. But here is United in STEM. This is our website. These are our programs that we have. There's 4 different components to United in STEM. There's STEM Meetup. This is when we actually, let's go here first. There's Launch into United in STEM, is when we meet with students over the summertime to introduce them to STEM. And then we have STEM Meetup, which is in the fall semester, which lets students know that you're a STEM student, but you're not the only STEM student. You are definitely not the only STEM student. You may be the only one in your classroom sometimes, but there's over 2,000, almost 3,000 actually now, STEM students or students of color at CSU. And so then we have STEM Connections. These are not in order, I don't know why. But STEM Connections is a heart of United in STEM. And so this right here, we have Beyond United in STEM, we have Innovation Experience, which gets people together across disciplines to come together and create a research question. We have panels and we have speakers coming to talk to students about opportunities in the STEM discipline. We have STEM Connect, when we connect students to other professionals as well as alumni. We go on tours. We just went to US Fish and Wildlife at the Arsenal campus in Commerce City just last Friday. We took about 15 students there. And then we have a training lab. And so these are the different components of United in STEM. Really excited about United in STEM and where it's come and where it's going. We also have something called Stemming from Color. Stemming from Color is scheduled for April 28th of next year and is basically a networking dinner for STEM students to get to know professionals in the community. And so we're definitely excited about that too. But this program is in partnership with academic colleges, different divisions. There's some external people that we're in partnership with. And then we have the STEM organizations like ACES, which is American Indian Science and Engineering, Minorities in Ag, Natural and Related Sciences, which is MANNERS, then the National Society of Black Engineers, which is NSBE, Out in STEM, which is OSTEM, and then SACNAS, as well as Society of Asian Scientists, which is SACE, and then SHIP, which is Society of Hispanic Professionals. And so those student organizations work closely with us to produce what I shared with you before, which is our 4 components here. The training lab is something that Miguel is familiar with. Miguel was part of our training lab last year. And so what happens is that we hire about 20 to 25 students who are interested in the STEM discipline. And we hired them for them to learn some basics lab protocols. We hire them about 6 hours a week, and you get about $13 an hour to learn how to be a STEM student. And so you can also make yourself more marketable for other lab opportunities. You don't have to do anything to be in United STEM at this point. You just need to show up and say, I'm interested. Here soon, we're going to be having a cutoff time. But what we're hoping to introduce right now, we have an innovation experience, which we have 12 students across the STEM discipline. And those students are coming together this fall semester to create a research question. And then in the spring semester, they'll be actually producing their lab. They'll be actually doing the research, the lab work. And we're excited about that. And so what we want to do eventually is offer free housing to live on campus students' second year. That's our next goal. So those of you that are interested in the STEM field, and you're not involved in United in STEM, I strongly recommend that you get involved in United in STEM so you can learn more about different companies or organizations and working closely with the Career Center. I know Academic Advancement Center has a STEM program as well, so I know that we're in partnership with them as well. So that's a little bit about United in STEM. It's so big and broad that it's hard to talk about it too much detail because it depends on what area you want to talk about it. But yeah, Richard or is it Mari? Are you, either one of you heard of United in STEM? Okay, Richard has. Richard, what are you involved in with United in STEM? Or did you go to the STEM meetup? What did you do?
Yeah, I think, well, I was contacted back in like last year about it, and then this year was the first time that we actually went to the first event for the STEM meetup.
Oh, okay, because it was COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, Maria? You're on. Oh,
Yeah,
you.
last year, I didn't know about it, but I don't think you guys did anything last year for it. But this year I did go to the meeting that you guys had in person. The I forget what it was called.
It was called STEM meetup. Yep.
Yeah, the STEM meetup.
Yeah. So now you'll start hearing a bunch of things from us for second semester. We have the training lab that's going on now. So if neither one of you have had lab experience, hopefully you applied to be part of the training lab. The deadline was on Monday, but if you are interested, I can make an exception. And so that is right by the Academic Advancement Center actually office. And so you get 6 hours of paid lab experience. But I need to know probably by tomorrow if you're interested, and because that application is closed and handshake, but I can take your resume or your cover letter directly. And then you will have some visits in the spring semester to a couple places. We'll have the Northern Medical Society come here. We'll have a couple companies come here like Ball Aerospace and Intel, Waterpick. So we'll be doing some great stuff next semester. So you have to keep your ears and eyes open for that. I do have a question for you all that are in STEM, or anybody actually. You know, if we offered this program to first year students, right, the STEM meetup, and we just kind of introducing you to what STEM is, and you're not the only one, and then also an opportunity to be part of the training lab. Do you think you would be interested in, you know, in a second year program, like an innovation experience that would allow you to get free room, free tuition, free room, but you would stay in university apartments? So does that sound something like, so for example, let's say Intel is a company that says, hey, we want to pour into our United in STEM students that are second year students. And the way we will pour into you all is we'll pay for your housing for a whole academic year. that whole academic year, you have to stay in university apartments, not in the dorms, but in the residence, in the university apartments. And you would stay with other people that are in the like major. So it's almost like a learning community. But then I'll also give you, in addition to paying for your housing, I will also give you a paid internship to get experience. Would that be something that you all would be interested in? If so, why? If not, why not?
I think I would be really interested in that. Like, that sounds like a perfect opportunity for students to not only stay within like the university, but also have the opportunity to keep going with their research and all that, and keep them engaged into their like the STEM field. Because I know a lot of students, their first year, they want to do STEM and everything, and they want to be like, oh, like doctors or engineers, but then they really go into their classes and they're like, this isn't really what I'm looking forward to, or it's not what I really thought about it. And but having like research, well, I know for me, research really helped me like know, okay, this is really what I want to do in engineering. And I think if students get that extra support by even just like financially, like, okay, I can still stay like at the university, um and I can also have an internship and still keep going on my way. Like, I think it would really motivate students and keep them going. And also having like that community of, oh, they're also STEM, so they know we're all in the same boat. It would help them like keep going.
Exactly, I agree. And Mare said yes, yes, with a lot of S's after it. So anybody else has anything to say? How would that sound to you if you had that opportunity?
I mean, honestly, I'm not a STEM individual, but if that was like a proposal from the art department, I would take it like without any hesitation, honestly. It sounds perfect.
Gosh, there we go. I'm like getting off of mute. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do right now. So we're engaging a company that is really invested in United in STEM, and saying, hey, if you're really invested, put your money where your mouth is. And so that's what our ask is that I know our students financially, that would be a headache that they don't have to worry about. And then also to get that internship experience as early as your second year with a company that is this nationwide known or internationally known. Experience that you can put in your resume like none other, right? And so a part-time internship while you're in school, and then full-time while in the summertime. So that is what we're working on. So yeah, just curious. Because we're like, I don't even know if students would want to do that. Like second year, they'd be like, I want to move off campus. I'm like, listen, the apartments are very nice on campus, and you don't have to pay for it. So yeah. So that's about 2 programs that we are overseeing in the Office of Inclusive Excellence. If you're not involved, I hope to see you get involved. It's never too late. If there is anything that I can do, Deanna knows exactly where to find me. I'll put my email in the chat. Feel free to email me with questions and how I can be of assistance to you. Happy to do that. And if there's a company that you're like, oh, I really want to work for this company, and let me know, because then maybe I can just build a relationship with them. I don't know, who knows? So that's all I have. I don't know if you have anything else, Deanna.
I don't. I just want to give you a huge shout out. Thank you, Bridget, and thank you all for being here. Can we give Bridget some love?
Oh,
I feel like you offered up a lot of like great opportunities, even when you mentioned like, yes, the deadline just passed this Monday for the lab experience, but if you're still interested, let me know. If folks are interested, please connect with Bridget, grab that email from the chat, connect with Bridget today if you can, if you're still interested in that. So huge shout out to you, Bridget, and everything that you do on our campus for our students. And is it okay if I add your email to our program description for this recording on our website for students to access?
Yeah,
okay,
totally
I'll
cool.
go ahead and do that. And if folks have questions later on and maybe you didn't find the email, like please let me know and I can help you connect with Bridget regarding anything she said. But thank you all for being here. If folks want to just stick around for a little bit, Bridget and I can stay on for a couple minutes. But thank you all. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.